Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I wanted to become an aviator, and I wanted to become a great singer. I always had the same dream. The dream was that I'm singing for hundreds of thousands of people. They're beautiful people, and I got the standing ovation. And then about the being an aviator, I always thought I'd like to be by. Yo, sound the plane? Alright, see you in the next. Let me go. I'm a inner city traveling man. Tears in her eyes, she said you just living goodbye. Across the borders of land. I'm a inner city traveling man. Don't cry when your tears in her eyes. She said you just living goodbye. We gotta go and do nothing. How we did not long ago. So we had to do it. We'll go ahead and leave. We'll go heard around the world from the wise of MCs. Cats paying more than half the time. I got my bag and sat it down. I got to say that we could probably run a blue town. Scenarios like this is clear judges with a modern MC. I ate a blue collar worker because this thing called rhyming no different from coal mining. We both on assignment to unearth the diamond. When you start climbing and them eyes start shining, you be struggling and striving and they think you prime time. I maintain and keep silent, make no an observation. It's confrontation. This is the daily operation. My concentration, stay focused on my recitation. About to reach my destination with no balls of hesitation. Baby, make the preparation, cause this ain't no recreation. This is pro ball, and we know, and you know y'all. Let the show y'all. Doing this for Joe, y'all.
Yasin Bey, one of the greatest. Peace, peace, peace. Rami Salam El here. Thank you for joining us. So we're gonna get right into it. The Bhagavad Gita as it is. And I'm reading from chapter 6. Yeah, chapter 6, page 104. What is called renunciation is the same as yoga, or linking oneself with the Supreme. For no one can become a yogi unless he renounces the desire for sense gratification. For one who is a neophyte in the eightfold yoga system, work is said to be the means. And for one who has already attained to yoga, cessation of all material activities is said to be the means. A person is said to have attained yoga when, having renounced all material desires, he neither acts for sense gratification nor engages in fruitful activities. When a person is fully engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, he is pleased in himself, and thus he is no longer engaged in sense gratification or in fruitful activities. Otherwise, one must be engaged in sense gratification, since one cannot live without engagement. Without Krishna consciousness, one must be always seeking self-centered or extended selfish activities. But a Krishna conscious person can do everything for the satisfaction of Krishna and thereby be perfectly detached from sense gratification. One who has no realization must mechanically try to escape material desires before being elevated to the top rung of the yoga ladder. A man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. Let me read that one again. A man must elevate himself by his own mind and not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. The Sanskrit word Atma, self, denotes body, mind, and soul, depending upon different circumstances. In the yoga system, the mind of the conditioned soul is especially important. Since the mind is the central point of yoga practice, Atma here refers to the mind. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind and to draw it away from attachment to sense objects. It is stressed herewith that the mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mirror of nescience, Nescience, nescience. In material existence, one is subjected to the influence of the mind and the senses. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because of the mind's ego, which desires to lord it over material nature. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of material nature, and in this way, the conditioned soul may be saved. One should not degrade oneself by attraction to sense objects. The more one is attracted by sense objects, the more one becomes entangled in material existence. The best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna's service. The best way to disentangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna's service. The Sanskrit word hai in this verse is used to emphasize this point, that one must do this, i.e. that one must do this. It is also said, for man, mind is the cause of bondage, and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense objects is the cause of bondage, and mind detached from the sense objects is the cause of liberation. Therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is the cause of supreme liberation. For he who has conquered his mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. For one who has conquered the mind, the super soul is already reached, for he has attained tranquility. To such a man, happiness and distress, heat and cold, honor and dishonor are all the same. A person is said to be established in self-realization and is called yogi or mystic when he is fully satisfied by virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it be pebbles, stones, or gold, as the same. Book knowledge without realization of the supreme truth is useless. This is said as follows in the Padma Purana. No one can understand the transcendental nature of the name, form, quality, and pastimes of Sir Krishna through his material contaminated senses. Only when one becomes spiritually saturated by transcendental service to the Lord are the transcendental name, form, quality, and pastimes of the Lord revealed to him. This Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness. This Bhagavad Gita is the science of Krishna consciousness. No one can become Krishna conscious simply by mundane scholarship. One must be fortunate enough to associate with a person who is in pure consciousness. A Krishna conscious person has realized knowledge by the grace of Krishna because he is satisfied with pure devotional service. By realized knowledge, one becomes perfect. By such perfect knowledge, one can remain steady in his convictions, but by academic knowledge, one is easily deluded and is confused by apparent contradictions. It is the realized soul who is actually self-controlled, because he has nothing to do with mundane scholarship. A person is said to be still further advanced when he regards all, the honest well-wisher, friends and enemies, the envious, the relatives, the pious, the sinner, and those who are indifferent and impartial with an equal mind. I think we'll leave it right there. Yeah, and I just want to show you this picture that's in this book. I just thought that this was really interesting. Bhagavad Gita, as it is, the science of Krishna consciousness, and that's Krshna, Krishna consciousness. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Peace.